Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here at NAB 2022, amazingly. Barb, so sorry, I hit him in person. We actually were in person.
That's good, you can hit somebody now.
It's true. Don't sue me though. This is Bob Herzan from Scale Logic.
Well, hello everybody, good to be here.
So we're here to talk about not just storage, but workflows. You guys, I know that you started as a storage company, but you have other types of workflows that you offer. You've made more of an ecosystem in some respects. Is that wrong, or is that correct?
In many respects, yes,
so there
absolutely.
You go. So there you go. So why don't you tell us what's new for the show, but also how the last 2 years led to what's new at the show?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last 2 years, obviously, we've gone through incredible amount of changes, a lot of challenges that we had to deal through. We focused in on our customers right off the bat, looked at what the problems were, and we also focused and looked back on ourselves and wanted to come out of COVID different, and we wanted to react differently to the customers. So Workflow Connect is a platform. It's a platform of products that make up this ecosystem that allows you to help design customer workflow requirements. And what I mean by that is, so if you went back years and you said, who is Scale Logic? You'd say, oh, it's that storage company. And storage is just something that we have to do in order to drive the workflow. But there's so many different types of storage. So in our platform, we have very high performance storage, which would be considered scale out NAS infrastructure. We have production storage, which is really fast as well, but it's primarily for the small to medium sized customer, half a petabyte worth of storage. And then you have the requirements of needing to build big repositories of storage where you can actually monetize all of this content that you have. So many people want to get off the tapes and bring in the monetization of their assets. So we built an object storage with a really strong front end to that so that people can find their content easily, they can find it from a global perspective. And then finally, utilizing cloud. And so we've got a public cloud offering as well that ties into the rest of the storage layers and allows you to build a really strong workflow from extremely fast, scalable storage all the way out to long-term archive. So that's the storage piece, but that's just where it begins. Now we have this problem where customers have to work in dispersed areas. So everybody's working remote. Everybody loves to work remote, by the way. Nobody wants to go back to the way it was. And so remote workflow became important, and we created a product that would address a number of different remote workflows. So one is just being able to push content to a remote person and allow him to work on that content. And while he's working on that content, the primary production storage, be it a cloud-based storage or an on-prem storage, is being sunk up with the changes. So multiple people can be working remotely, but that primary core storage is still being updated so the collaboration can continue from wherever you are. You just have to work on file sizes, internet access, things like that, and tune that for the environment. The final piece of that is not everybody wants to work from a sync workflow, and people need to get to their fast, high performance computes. And those are still sitting on-prem, or those are up in the cloud. So we built a VDI option as well that allows you to access your high computes from a remote location, which will be next to your storage, and then you can work just like you're in the office. So boom, we took care of the remote editing, we've got all the storage pieces in there. What's next? So next is, things got very complex. I've got storage sitting in the cloud, I've got storage on-prem, I've got storage over here, and I got so many people writing files to this stuff. How do I manage that? And so we built a couple of different tools for doing that. One is just data movement out into the cloud so that you can help people move content from a hybrid perspective. The other is being able to analyze that data so that you can put business intelligence into the business owners so they know how everything's being used, what it's costing them to use it, what it might cost them if they were going to, say, push a petabyte out to an Amazon or Azure or a private cloud, and if they had heavy egress requirements, they can see that up front and then make those decisions prior to using those cloud environments. After that, we go into workflow, we tie it into high performance compute, So we've got various different relationships and have built some custom boxes for doing render farms, virtual production.
Which is huge right now.
Well, it's a huge buzzword. It's a wild, wild west.
Yeah.
And what we did, if you go over to our booth, it's pretty cool, is we've built this high compute render built on a 100 gig network with some really fast NAS. And it's actually a data center that can roll right into a virtual production studio and run multiple volumes.
Wow.
And that's trying to take away the wild, wild west functionality of it and say, here is your storage infrastructure. It's a roll into whatever volume you're going into. Don't worry about wiring this or tweaking that or tuning that.
Yeah, instead of sort of like the bespoke workflows that sort of have popped up over the last 2 years. So you're giving them an actual, I guess, stable workflow way to go. I mean, when they come to you, do you sort of customize stuff for them? Do you have that ability?
Absolutely. I mean, because of the complexity of it, because of our industry always looking for different types of ways of doing things, that's why we built Workflow Connect, because not one thing can solve one person's workflow problem. It's gotten worse that everybody's gone remote. It's gotten worse that everybody's using various different cloud technologies. So we bring the intelligence back into designing what the workflow needs to be, putting the support behind it, so that should not be their primary functionality, is trying to figure out how to make things work. They just want to do content creation.
Right.
They want to do content distribution, content manipulation, and so we build that heart and soul to make that happen.
Where can people go to find out more about all that you offer?
Well, if they're down here at the show, they can go over to our booth at N1418 in the North Hall. And then if they're not, they just got to go to www.scalelogicinc.com. You can find a lot of information there. Reach out to my team. We're here waiting to help. We've got a huge channel around the world too. So we've got a bunch of educated people out there ready to take care of you.
Thank you very much. Have a great show.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much. Let me hit the button off.
It's hard to get pictures of that.